What's up, YouTube? This is ShapeSnatch93. I'm coming at you with a deck profile. I am taking this to Columbus, or not Columbus, Cleveland. I believe it's like the 19th, hosted by Ultra Reality Games. I got my invite with Macro Rabbit, so I wanted to shake it up a little bit. I feel like this deck's good against the meta. It has a lot of good matchups against Macro Rabbit and wind-ups and stuff, because you can pretty much create unbeatable boards. And there's a couple cards in here that I feel that are too broken not to have in a deck, I guess. So let's get started. We got triple full Helm Knight. It stalls out. This deck has a not too much consistency issue, because you can search and do all that stuff with Dark Soul, but stopping attacks is one of the main parts. You can put Nat Beast plus this on the board, and you're safe for a turn, at least. And then triple Ember's Blade, it's a giant rat. A couple builds only run 2. I like it at 3 because it keeps your board presence. Triple Dark Soul, it's Sangan on crack, honestly. Searches any X-Saber you have. It's too good not to run at 3, I guess. Triple Bogard, some only run 2. I like 3 because it sets up the next card, which is Full Troll. It just creates so much explosion. It's your out to Thunder King. This deck would not be possible without this card. It's Monster Reborn. It's just absolutely retarded. It gives you the Godham's loop. Some people say 3 is inconsistent, but with the 3 Ember's Blade and stuff, this deck really goes off. Double Pashul, it's like Sangan, Spirit Reaper. Regagura gives you access to the hand loop, which is really devastating in this deck. You can set up, a Barkion plus the combo, so there's really nothing they can do short of Valor, and sometimes Valor doesn't even stop you, because you have the Godham's duality, because this deck likes to set pass a lot. Creature Swap, this card creates massive advantage in this deck, especially because you have the Dark Souls, which you can give your opponent and then smack into it while taking, their monster. Give them Ember's Blade is the best play. Like Monster Reborning Ember's Blade in defense, and then summoning full Helm Knight and then running it over. You just plus so much in that. I took out the double Saber Slash for double MST because this deck hates back row, because you invest so much in the field, but you can create boards that are unbeatable. So the MSTs are there. So Rhoda, because you have run triple full Helm Knight, double Pashul, and sometimes you can just easily summon Pashul. So, and then Saber Slash, I cut this down from 2 to 1 because it wasn't as devastating as it could be. I was drawing it too late, or I was drawing it too early, and I want to draw it a little later in the game. It's an out to Thunder King stuff, Macro Cosmo, stuff like that. They can't Starlight Road it, which is another big problem. Book of Moon, because it helps with your full Helm Knights. We have Enemy Controller, helps. I had more in here, but it just didn't work out at 2 or 3. It was just, I know it's defensive and offensive, but 1's just right. Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm, Dark Hole was back there. If you're not running these 3, you're crazy. And then this card, there's a lot of controversy. People want to run 2. I like 3 because it simply explodes. You gain so much advantage by flipping Trap Stun chaining this. Yeah, it's retarded. It's double Monster Reborn. It makes your Full Trolls live. The only problem with this is it's not good early game. Although it can give you multiple Dark Soul searches, which really helps. And then this is one of the cards I really like in this deck. I may try to fit in a 3rd, but for now I took it out. It's almost like Solemn Warning. Honestly, in a lot of different ways, it's better. There's no life point cost. You can only activate when you control X-Saber, but that's really not hard. You can make boards of, like Godham's, or like Nat Beast and Godham's, and you can set this, and then there's really nothing your opponent can do. It stops cards like Moon and Glacia, Undine. It's one of the only answers to Undyne that I can find that's decent, because as soon as he hits the board, his effect's going off almost regardless of what you do to it. And then double trap stun. This is good against the Abyss Sphere. Yeah, it's good against the Abyss Sphere. And good because you can flip this on and summon High on Light, and then Warnings. And then Judgment because it's a control-based deck. And then this makes TT cry. That's really well it's in here. And the few people that are playing Mirror Force, when it doesn't get blown up by High on Light, or I don't drop Barkion on it. Yeah, that's the main deck. It's extremely deadly, honestly. I've had so many people on Duel Network, like, they're so confused because you can clear their board with High on Light and Saber Slash and stuff, and then clear their hand with Gotems. Anyway, this is the extra deck. Gotems, Mistworm. This is really easy to make. Stardust, Scrap Dragon, Colossal Fighter. Souza is really good. You can pretty much Catastor anything on the board when he's on the board. Plus you can back him by Saberhole. Arabellum, I don't like this card too much. It's simply for Bogart Knight. Gives you another option other than Souza. I mean, you can take a couple cards out of your opponent's hand with this, or like force them to top deck stuff. This deck would not be any good without this card, in my opinion. It's like they made it so, the synergy so good with High on Lay and Trap Stun, and this deck has the ability to drop them. Just in case you're going into 3 back row, and you need to keep a monster on the board, I go into him rather than High on Lay. Having them both level 6 is really good, because your opponent doesn't know what to do. And then Nat Beast, any deck that can make Nat Beast and Barkion is extremely deadly in my opinion. And especially with the ability to keep a full Helm Knight on the field and set Saberhole or a Warning or something like that with this, it's really hard to play out of that. Armor Yarn for Regagura plays. I mean, you can honestly like clip this to like a full Helm Knight or something and then like start running stuff over. Make a 2300 full Helm Knight that can keep going, or can keep running over stuff and bring Monster Born stuff back, I guess. Tempo, because this deck has a problem with XYZs. I don't see the need to run Leviathan or anything, because you can always just, if you have the 2 level 3s, most of them are always a tuner and a non-tuner, so you can almost always go into Barkion or something to run it over. Zenmains and Soul Silver Mountain. I wasn't playing this card, but then I figured out at a tournament that this card's definitely worth the extra space, because you can just make it like cold weight of a back row and then poke over top stuff and then just keep Monster Reborn stuff. That's pretty good. Let me do the side deck and then I'll be done. I think I have a couple proxies, or like there's not enough space or something. The other Saber Slash decks that swarm, you can counter them and just destroy it. The other Saberhole, I'd side this in against the water deck, I guess. Any deck that relies on their 1 summon a lot. Double Max C for windups, I guess. Fossil Dyna, because your opponents are going to think that they're Emmer's Blades and Dark Souls face down. So this really surprises them. And then we got Double Thunder King. It kills that Machine and Gadget bullshit. I hate that deck with a passion. This may go to 3 because dark decks almost always seem to kill this deck. Especially in Sectors. This has a horrible matchup against Sectors, because there's really nothing you can do about their Insectors and stuff, or them blowing up your monsters. Ceilings, for windups after they go off, and this deck likes to set a lot, so it's easy to set Dark Soul, Flip, Needle Ceiling. The side deck needs a little work. I haven't figured out this deck's bad matchups. It doesn't have a problem with macro or burn or anything, because you can sit behind Beast Barkion or blow it up with High on Lay, or like flip a Saber Slash on the macro. This deck outpaces Macro Rabbit. by leaps and bounds. The only thing this deck really has a problem with is Thunder King. But with the creature swaps and stuff, that changes the Saber Slash, the enemy controllers, because Thunder King only has like 800 defense or something, I think. So, yeah, that's 800. So this is what I'll be taking to Cleveland. I'll try to get some dual videos up tomorrow. I'm going to locals, so, but until then, peace out, YouTube.